No, but this is going back. Joe was the president when we met with him. So we've had multiple meetings with the current administration, with the current president, with the past president. So it's not like this came out of the blue. This has been, this dialogue has been happening for over 2 years.
Yeah. Well, there are elements of this that I can't go into in public session, but we've had multiple discussions in connection with the dollar amounts, the impact on the referendum, the impact of ownership, the impact of control, all right? You know, I personally feel that what you originally were talking about, putting together a recreational facility on town land, makes a lot of sense. I personally believe we have a philosophical divide right now in this town as to who should be responsible for township recreation. My feeling, in the interest of transparency, anything that's dealing with the township and recreation should be under township control. It should not be involving the school district. We grew up as a town in which the schools were part of a recreational strategy because of the size of the town. The town has grown. The costs that the school district has to bear in supporting recreation for the township is not a minimal one. And it is one that is not really seen too often by the rest of the community because it is absorbed as our general operating expenses. I think in many ways, if we could find a way to move recreation out of the schools and move it into township facilities that are managed by township facilities and paid
Mike,
for
aren't
township
we all
budgets.
one town, though? Aren't we all one
We're all
town?
one
We're one
town
small
here.
little town. Do you really think that one recreational center is going to satisfy the 900 kids who play basketball and the kids who play volleyball and the kids who wrestle?
If it is done in a proper
your
way.
concept is to shut down the schools so that they're simply for academics, and that's not fair. That's not fair to the balance of the community.
Eric,
That's just
Eric,
simply unrealistic.
Eric,
Mike.
Eric,
It is
excuse me.
unrealistic.
Understand your point of view, Eric. Let me express my point of view. We built the facilities to support athletics for our students. That's why there's a gym. These are designed to support the athletics of our students. If in the determination of the township, we need larger facilities or more facilities, let's look into that, okay? Totally supportive of having sufficient recreational facilities within this town. But here's the problem.
I gotta stop you for
Eric,
one second.
please,
Hold on,
let me
stop you for 1 second, Mike. What you're saying is that, okay, 1,000 kids want to play basketball, so then go build recreation
Eric,
centers. We
where's the
have
number
infrastructure in
coming from?
place. We have infrastructure in place. It's called a school. Like, unlike a lot of other, why is there this obsession with closing the school? Why is there this obsession from the board in order to keep our kids out of the gyms?
Eric,
There is an obsession,
Eric,
and that's terrible, Mike.
Eric, I'm
That's
sorry.
so
I'm sorry.
terrible.
That is not.
the truth, Mike.
No, it is not.
It has been the truth.
Eric.
In comparison to a lot of other school systems, they actually work hard to keep their kids in the gym instead of doing drugs, instead of doing other things. We have this obsession to save a few dollars to keep our kids out of the gym, and that's why pressure has been put on us
Eric,
to do
that's
recreation.
so
It's not.
No,
It's the fact.
first,
You
there's
know
no
it.
basis of fact on that. Absolutely no
You want to
basis
go
of
through
fact.
what happened with wrestling? You want to go through what we have to go through to get the gyms open for basketball? I'm happy to sit there and debate
Eric,
this with you.
there has been no denial of any athletic group to use the facilities in the schools. I've been an HYA coach. I've been in dilemmas in which different double bookings have taken place in the school facilities. There has been no effort by the school district at any point, at any time that I've lived in this town since 2001 to prevent people from using those facilities. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, if we have an issue here in which we do not have enough facilities to deal with the recreational needs of this town, I would like to see the township step up and build their own facilities. If we have to use school facilities to supplement, fine, I understand that. I'm a realist here. But I do believe that this is a township issue that the township should resolve with township land and township resources. That is simply what I'm saying. I like the idea of the initial proposal. I think the thought of going and looking at other facilities in this township, and by the way, regardless of what this does to me for my friends here in the room, if Cross Farms is part of that discussion, it's part of the discussion. It isn't a final decision. But the point is, I think we need to be looking at township properties, not immediately defaulting to the schools.
Mike, as a school board member, do you think that there's enough facilities to properly take care of all the sports that our kids play? Do you think there is right now? Do you think that with the current referendum that there's enough practice area for all the sports over the next 3-4 years? Do you think that as a school board member?
The referendum was put together to deal with the athletic needs of the
Okay,
school
but do you
district.
think over the next 3-4 years, with the current growth of population, the amount of sports that we,
The
do you
growth of
think that,
population
do
is-
you think that there is enough resources to properly allow our kids to practice at the school? Let me tell you the answer, Mike, it's no.
Eric,
It's
you're
no,
not,
Mike,
you're
it's
not,
no.
but you're not listening to me. That's the problem, okay? Please listen to me, all right? I'm incredibly flexible on the situation. What I'm saying is the default of all our recreational needs should not be immediately on the school district. What I'm saying is if you're going, and I know,
Are we
Tom, I'm
asking
sorry,
you to
I don't
pay
mean to
for
be
it?
taking
Are we asking
past
you-
the 3
are we
minutes. I'm
asking you for the pay
just
for it?
answering the
I don't
question.
know. Are we asking you to pay for it, Mike? We're not.
Ask you to pay for what, Eric?
What you're fighting is that.
Eric, we're not
we want-
fighting anything
You
here.
are. We're trying to do a
Eric.
study to see if we can help enhance
Eric.
infrastructure at the school
Hey,
board.
Mike,
I'm not fighting.
we're getting, again, what Barbara was up there, saying you're putting the cart before the horse. I think we're getting into that same area right now, so
Right.
let's try to wrap it up.
Yeah, so Tom, basically what I'm saying is, I'm not sure how this referendum changed, I'm sorry,
It's a motion.
this motion changed the earlier decision, which where you were gonna look at township, you're still looking at other township locations for the multi-use facility, right? Is this just an add-on to this?
This is a different set of circumstances.
A different set of circumstances?
An outside, multi-purpose field with lights.
All right, I'm just simply saying to you that there are elements of complication over the next couple of years that are going to be impactful to any sort of study that
We're
you're
aware of
beginning to look at, and that's all I'm trying to share
We'll
here.
be in front of your board to share with you any of our thoughts, if they happen to affect the Senate.
Now, on a happier note, okay, the main reason I was hoping to come up here is I just wanted to thank you for the work that has gone on between the township and the school administration to deal with the security issues that we're talking about. I do appreciate your efforts there. The second thing I wanted to say is, while Michael was complimenting emergency medical personnel, he obviously couldn't take the next step of thanking himself, so I will take the moment to thank him and his dedicated work for so many years in dealing with emergency needs of this house. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Mike. Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other comments, I'm going to entertain a motion. Well, one more, one last, come on up.
Well, one more time.
Come on up.
Just a minute. I went to SATS.
No, hold on.
First of all, the microphone
Come to the
is
mic.
go off.
All right, may it please the board, the committee, and
Yeah.
all the residents.
Turn the mic on.
Turn it on.
Is it on? Is it off?
There you go.
All
Identify
right.
yourself, please.
May it please the board, Anthony DeLeggio, resident 28 Red Coach Lane. Hi, residents, committeemen. Michael Collins and I, were both SATS students. I want to express why it's important to be at SATS. Now, it's not just about physical fitness, not everybody can be buff like me, but we can all be drug-free, right? Like me and Michael. And one of the reasons why we got away from whatever everybody else is doing these days. I mean, drugs are rampant, I'm hearing, in this town, is because of sports, coaching from people like Eric and his friends, and it's been great. How can we gather interest from students outside of the school? That's all they know. I mean, ask them to go anywhere else to play sports. I just don't see it happening. So if these resources are available at SATS, number one, let's do it there. And then if more resources are needed, then other locations ought to supplement. I don't think the other way around, where the schools would supplement some other place that we find. I mean, the athletic fields, the courts are all there, etc. So I just really like to see it done at SATS, at a place where I was comfortable, where I know our students are comfortable. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Appreciate it.
Doing a great job.
Sir.
The general comments for the evening, right?
Yes.
Pradeep Janji, 38 Takalusa. I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record, but I want to keep harping on
I can hear you. Pradeep, I can hear you. Pick up the mic. Make sure the button's on.
Hello? Does that work?
Yeah.
Yes, you're good. Okay, so basically two issues. I come back to the low-income housing. I believe, Tom, you mentioned in the last meeting, I was not here, but I was told that you mentioned that maybe we will have a township gathering to sort of hash out ideas about low-income housing. Is that true?
That was a number of months ago, we talked about possibly doing that, and that's
Yeah.
still something that we're kicking around, but we haven't made a heck of a lot of progress, so there's nothing on the calendar yet.
It would be great if you could do that. I think there are a lot of people here who've got very creative ideas to minimize the impact and still meet the obligation. So that would be great. And the other topic that I've raised before, I think it's extremely important for the town and all the citizens of the town to know what we're going to do with the $160 million that we got from the pilot program to the township. Because that's a lot of money. It's over 30 years, but that's what it is. And I'd like to see some kind of discussion about this large sum of money, even though it's stretched over 30 years. What is the plan for that kind of volume of money? Because, it's very easy. It's very easy. I mean, you see it in home budgets and the rest. When plenty of money is there, it's easy to spend. If we have a plan and we can sequester some of the money for the huge infrastructure problems that we have in town, our roads are horrible. And those are very, very expensive. So if we could please have a plan on how we intend to spend that money, it's a large sum of money. We need to have a plan.
Thank you.
Yep.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Good night, everybody.